Alright, there you go.
Hello everyone, my name is Kyle Herman, and today I will be speaking with you about my ultra goal. In this presentation, I will cover what my goal was, why I chose it, how I approached it, how it related to course material, any additional resources that I used to complete it, if I completed it, and what I learned from it. So my ultra goal was to play a particularly difficult piano piece called Intermezzo 118 No. 2 by a German composer by the name of Johannes Brahms, if that's how you pronounce it. Why I chose this goal, when I was in high school, my freshman and sophomore year, I played a lot of piano, and that was when I really started. And it became a passion of mine. I loved to do it, and I would sit down for hours and just play piano and learn all kinds of songs. And then for some reason I stopped. I don't know why. So it's something I kind of wanted to pick up again. I had a few advantages and disadvantages. Disadvantages were I cannot read music, so it's kind of, the learning process is a little unorthodox. And then it's kind of hard to find free time, let alone time to practice the piece. You know, first year, college, first semester. I did have some advantages though. I had several different resources. I learned by ear. That's my method of learning mostly. And obviously it was a passion of mine, so it wasn't really that big of a deal to, force myself to play. It was pretty easy. Some of the resources I used to complete my goal were I have a piano at home. We have practice rooms in the Giese Center for the Performing Arts. A lot of pianos there. I used a video on YouTube to kind of help me learn. I use sheet music a little bit, but hardly at all because reading is a struggle. And I listen to the song a lot. So this is the video that I was talking about on YouTube, and what it is it's called Synthesia. It's a computer program where it allows you to learn music in a different way and kind of like visualize it. So what it is all these bars will approach a different key, which is a different note, and then they'll be of different lengths, which indicates the duration for how long you hold it. So I've always found this method pretty useful because I'm a visual learner, so it was really helpful in that respect. I did keep track of my time. So here's an example of one of the logs that I had. On the left is the date, and on the right was the duration. And usually, if I found time to practice, it was anywhere between 30 minutes and an hour, maybe a little bit longer if I could find any extra time. Throughout learning the piece and working toward my goal, I was able to relate a lot of course content to my goal. For example, ignition. Obviously, I had an internal spark that made me want to complete this goal. One being that it was assigned to have a goal in mind, but also because it was a passion of mine and I kind of wanted to pick up piano again. And that's discussed a lot in Daniel Coyle's book, The Talent Code, along with deep practice, which I engaged in a lot. It was a very difficult piano piece, and it took a lot of time. So deep practice was definitely one of the things I focused on. I would focus on the mistakes. I would use chunking as well. I would play a specific portion of the song, and any mistakes that I would make, I would play that portion of the song over and over again until it was almost seamless. So that's how I related it to Coyle's book. And then Dweck's book and the mindsets. She speaks of two different mindsets in her book, the fixed and the growth. And I had the growth mindset, basically believing that no matter what, I can improve on my skill in different ways. And it helped me in a couple ways. It was reassuring in the good times, when I was learning quickly and relatively easily, but it was also encouraging in difficult times when I couldn't get a specific part of the piano of the piece down. So it was helpful in a lot of ways. I did use a few additional resources. A few sources named the prevalence of playing-related musculoskeletal disorders in relation to piano players, and I'll discuss a little bit more of that in the next slide. Finding your balance, techniques for pianists, their ensemble partners, and their teachers. I use that for assistance with technique playing the piano, so that was helpful. And then Johannes Brahms, a biography. And it allowed for a better knowledge of the composer, to kind of really get to know him, and then maybe some of his motives behind the music, to kind of really connect with it and play the piece by telling a story or something like that. The PRMDs, or the playing-related musculoskeletal disorders, are just disorders that can result from poor technique, such as poor wrist posture, poor shoulder elevation, and overuse. This is related to me because obviously I would have to engage in a lot of practice, and sometimes if you engage in hours of practice like this, it can potentially harm yourself. I also have a friend who experienced PRMDs just recently. He actually works here, so that was how it related to me. It was very interesting. So did I complete my goal? I did. It took me quite a while. I think it was like at least 9 or 10 weeks. And a lot of the material in the course really helped me to achieve it. Specifically, the knowledge of different kinds of mindsets. Before coming into this class, I didn't really have a knowledge that, there was different mindsets. I kind of always believed that if you put your mind to something, you can complete it, and you can achieve it. But the content in this course really reassured me of that, and really heightened my belief in myself and in my abilities. And what did I learn? I learned a lot, especially what I just said. If you have the right mindset, if you have a growth mindset, and you believe you can do it, I think virtually anything is possible. It has changed the way I play piano. I definitely engage in a lot more deep practice than I did before. Sometimes I used to just run through the entire song just to kind of get a feel for it, but now I really just focus on the mistakes first. And participating in this goal has actually really changed my life in a way. Not to be corny or anything, but it really has. It's changed the way I look at things. It's definitely heightened the effects of my growth mindset and the way I practice anything in my life. So definitely a life-changing experience. So thank you. You've been a wonderful audience.